Okay guys, so just a disclaimer, this is like take number 37, so if there's any flubs in this one, I'm keeping them. But, how's it going? I'm Gear, welcome back to the channel. I was hoping to have a petty play out for you guys today, but he's still in the rack, not quite ready yet. So, we're going to be doing a Gunpla review instead. Today we're going to be reviewing the Jiyan Altron from the 2018 Gundam Build Divers series. To give you a brief history, it is based on the Altron Gundam from the 1995 Gundam Wing series. And... give me a minute. My brain just went dead. Oh, yeah. Like everything with the Build Diver series, it has been modified. Obviously the color scheme is different, along with the fact they've added both the tiger and wolf motif to the shoulders, and embellishments in certain places such as the V-fin. The suit itself will turn gold when using special moves, which is more reminiscent of the Mobile Fighter G Gundam series than it is Gundam Wing. Also on a side note, in episode 11, just short of the 12-minute mark, there is a moment where they show their names and the kanji is wrong for this one. They left off the wolf kanji. That being said, we're going to get into the Gunpla review, and before we do I want to throw in a disclaimer. Up until episode 11 of Gundam Build Divers, I was not a fan of this suit. Episode 11, I seen more of what the suit could do, and it turned me to being a fan. So at that point, I decided to build it, and just now got around to building and doing this review. Originally, the review was supposed to be a straight build. Unfortunately, I have OCD, so as you can tell, it's not a straight build. We're going to go over it, and then I'm going to show you a few changes I made to it, things that I thought improved it. But let's get started. First off, before we get in too far with the Gundam, the suit does have extra parts in the box. The only thing I was able to build out of the extra parts was this. The beam rifle for the Wing Gundam. For now, my NBD Leo is going to hold on to this bad boy, just so you know, and then just so the Leo actually has something that is usable as a weapon besides its Nerf dart gun that it comes with. That being said, into the review. This suit is unique. I've never been a big fan of Gundam Wing. However, before anyone starts going to the comment section and typing out some hate over that, these suits are turning me to like Gundam Wing a little bit more. Like, I've always been a big fan of Death Sight. Any mobile suit with a sight, I am there. But these suits are turning me towards the other ones. I have the Build Fighters Wing Hano. I also have the, and excuse the bad pronunciation, I'm horrible with it, but the give me a minute. It is the Finis Reniscata. I probably butchered that. I do apologize. It's the green one from Gundam Build Fighter. The one based on the Wing Gundam. Anyways, back to this guy. Yeah, so I found this to be a pretty satisfying build. He has good articulation in the arms and in the legs. Unfortunately, this piece is solid. It's a solid chunk of plastic, so it limits the back motion on the legs to about like that. But you get pretty good forward extension, and not to mention side extension. As far as the arms go, yeah, that's about as high as they can go, but I really don't think you ever need to go any higher than that. Obviously, you know, they can turn all the way around. They're simply held on by one of these little socket joints here. The arm is tedious at times because this little piece here where they connect in at, it's not easy to see from there, but right there, it does like to come loose. If you turn this, if you bend this part here wrong, or if you bring them up too far, or you do something with them, it does like to kind of try and pop loose on you. You just gotta check it every so often. Same with the hip joint. It's just a simple little ball joint in there. And so that does like to try and come loose on you on occasion. These claws here are supposed to move. Unfortunately, I was trying to glue these pieces down on the side here because they are very thin and I was afraid they would break. And in the process of gluing them down, I accidentally glued these down so they don't move on either leg. But the suit has good articulation in the legs, like I said. The feet have pretty decent articulation. The ankle guard does like to pop off on the back end every so often, like that, and then be totally loose. Easy fix, you just push it back forward. The head when I first put it on was loose. I fixed that using clear nail polish, as you can see back here. And that actually prevents it from being too loose. The shoulders do hit the wings when you are posing, so you got to keep that in mind as you're moving them around. The wings themselves have a number of issues. Aside from the arm bars, which are actually kind of nice, however, mine like for some reason do like that where they all go forward. But the arm bars are pretty nice because they give you some mods to it. But you can see here, this wing is loose, and it has something to do with how these things are assembled. I considered gluing them. I'm afraid if I do, I'll get the same result as I got down here on the leg. Easiest fix is just to give it a squeeze all the way across. Just a quick little squeeze, and it tightens it back up for a little while. Once it's posed though, it shouldn't be an issue. I probably will eventually go in and glue it into place. Not the wing itself, hopefully, just the green part. But you know, that's how it goes. One of the things I did really like about this kit is the color separation. I wasn't expecting there to be as much color separation. Usually I'm building older kits. I just recently, well, I'm what, 6 kits into the Gundam Build Diver series, so a few more modern kits than what I've had in the past. But I mean usually I build things like old suits from like Gundam Seed and junk. That being said, the color separation is really nice on this one, so I wasn't expecting that. In fact, if I can just get that leg to do what I want to do, okay. This is all color separated, along with this. These are 2 different plates. That impressed me. I was honestly expecting it to be decals when I looked at the box until I opened it up. And to be honest, there's not a lot of decals with this suit. There's supposed to be decals for the eyes on both animals, the markings on the tiger, and the eyes in here, along with that gem. I think that was it. I didn't use any of them except for the eyes in there. Everything else is hand painted, just because that's the way I prefer to do it. Just the way I am. Sorry. Moving on. Talking about modifications. I did make a few mods to it for things I didn't. Oh, also this is a sticker too. I forgot about that. Anyways, moving on. I did make a few mods. Some things I thought needed to be changed. I actually swapped out the traditional hands it comes with the Gundam Jiyan build knuckles. As you can see here. One of them, and that's the other one. The Jiyan knuckles, the build knuckles, won't set you back too far, but they do add a lot to this Gundam, especially since, you know, he comes with the one set of hands that has that open hole in the middle for him to hold on to stuff with. But he's a fighting type, so even though he does use that when these pieces come off and he's holding them in his hands, he doesn't really need it all the time. So I took a couple of old gray Jiyan build knuckles I had, and I painted them to match as closely as I could with these joints. Like I said though, the articulation is good, so just about any pose you can think of, a fighting pose, he can do. I've been messing around with him a little bit, just to try and find a pose I liked. Now after seeing the most recent episode of the show, I'm going to have to reevaluate how I'm posing him and who I'm posing him with, but you know, is what it is. And in case anybody's watching this in the future and you're wondering what episode I'm talking about, the most recent episode of Gundam Build Divers, him and Mr. Sharney fought each other, and the Sharney's suit used its Ifrit mode. He used his, well, obviously the only mode his suit has, and it was a freaking epic fight. That being said, because of it, I'm going to have to figure out how to repose with him and the other one to work together for a single pose due to stuff that happened closer to the end of that episode that I don't want to unpack here in case somebody hasn't seen that episode yet. But yeah, this suit, like I said, it's a very good suit. The modifications I made to it won't set you back too far. And if anything, they do a lot to enhance the suit's look and feel. As you can see here from me posing it, it doesn't take much. I mean, it's just a small change, but this wouldn't be possible with the original hands. And as I said before, he comes with a beam rifle as an extra part, which is kind of nice. especially since my NPD Leo only had that Nerf gun of a machine gun that all Leos come with. This thing here. That being said, I'm pretty much done giving you guys a review. Overall, I'd say this is definitely a suit worth buying, especially if you're a fan of Gundam Wing or Gundam Gunpla. If you're a fan of Gundam Wing, it's just because it's a nice alteration on the Altron. It looks good and has a nice feel to it. If you're a fan of Build Divers, well, it's obvious why you'd want this suit. That being said, all that being completely said, I'm going to leave you guys with an image at the end of this video. It's actually my favorite photo I took of this guy afterwards from the photo booth, but it just shows the kind of fun you can have with them, especially if you put forth the effort in just having fun. We always say, yeah, these are models, but let's be honest, they can be fun too. Anyways, I appreciate you guys tuning into this. Like I said, this is like the 37th one I've tried to make. Something always gets in the way. I've just kind of given up on trying to get it perfect. If there's anything you guys think I could do better to make these videos more informative and more fun, please feel free to leave it in the comment section. I'm always trying to improve these things to give you guys the best possible thing I can. I'm hoping to either have a review for the new Gundam Pixie or this guy here done soon. It just depends on how things go over the next few days and what I can get done before the Pixie gets here or whatever. Anyways, I appreciate you guys tuning in. Hope you have a wonderful day and stay safe out there.